Okay, hello everyone. My name is 24HourRunz. Today I'm going to be running Super Sponge for Retrothon. This is my first time ever running in a marathon for video games. Hello chat. Yeah, so we're just going to start off. So we're going to click start right here, and timing starts when we click start new game. So hopefully looking to start the timer. So I'm going to do a countdown for when we're going to start the timer, and that is going to be 5 or 10. Thanks for the good luck. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. So right now we are starting off in the jellyfish fields, and we're going to start off by making a sandwich. We're getting the jellyfish jelly. You're going to see Spongebob's making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You sure his pants are really square? Or do you... I think they might be square. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. This first level, very simple. It's just... there's some pretty tough cycles you can do at top level, but pretty straightforward. You just got to do some simple platforming, and it's a pretty fun level. So, that is the first level down. And next we are getting our next ingredient for the sandwich. It's just the peanut butter. So we are actually visiting Sandy's Tree Dome for the first, for the next ingredient of the sandwich. And this is the first vertical level in the run. You're seeing I'm doing a lot of these ground pound jumps. Ooh, that was scary. And these actually help me hit the ground faster. And you'll notice that later in the run they're actually going to be very convenient for enemies. But yeah, it was a pretty clean tree dome, and we are 2 levels down. Are they square when he rips them? Yeah, I think we've seen the episode. I think SpongeBob's pants are still square when he ripped his pants. So I actually got hit by the enemy right there, but I actually did not lose any time. And the reason I didn't lose time is because of the cycle coming up here. You're gonna see where I'm jumping over this gap, but I used the blue jellyfish for assistance. So that is pretty clean. So we're getting our next ingredient of the sandwich. So we have peanut butter, we have jelly, and we're getting the bread now. And we had a slight mistake at the end, but pretty clean. And now we just got to get one more ingredient for the sandwich, and we're going to finish up our first chapter of the game. And we're getting lettuce for some reason. So you can see now why this ability of ground pounding is overpowered, especially in the vertical level. But now we can see it now because it basically helps us destroy anything in our path. And we're gonna have our first boss coming up in a couple minutes, or less than a minute actually. But yeah, we're this level pretty straightforward, very repetitive if you're used to playing this level. You're noticing I'm going to be using SpongeBob's ground pounding ability at very specific times. And this is actually one of the areas where I tend to lose a lot of time. And it's this fight right here, because you know, sometimes it's hard to adjust to where this King Jellyfish is sort of placing his children. Yeah, so actually, King Jellyfish is actually a pretty common boss in SpongeBob games. It's if you ever played Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is another great retro SpongeBob game. I'm sure many of you know it if you're in the speedrunning scene, but it's an incredible game, and it's another just big jellyfish, very common boss. And this isn't a terrible King Jellyfish. You do notice I'm going to be waiting a little bit to deploy these jellyfish, because they are there is actually a cooldown on how often I can use these jellyfish. So that's our first boss down, and you notice I did stay really high to the top, but I did kind of fall off at the end. You're supposed to stay high to the top, but I did make a mistake. And ooh, I'm already making mistakes here. This is a very... You'll notice that this game is very cycle dependent, but I've already sort of made some mistakes here. I'm failing that first jump. And we were supposed to land on that blue jellyfish. We made a bit of a mistake there. This is the best speedrunner ever. I very much appreciate the comment, Tango. So... Ooh, so yeah, because I failed that cycle earlier, you'll see that sometimes if you fail a cycle, it may only lose like 5 seconds, but then the cookie begins to crumble and you could lose quite a bit of time getting hit back by all these objects. So I'm already down quite a bit of time here, but we're not letting it distract us. We're halfway through Chapter 2, and we have... we're basically getting some materials for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. We're actually not halfway through Chapter 2. But, yeah, this is another level that is very interesting. We're actually going to see the start of a pretty common strat. There's actually, basically, we're going to get hit back on a lot of these objects. And, yeah, these helps us quite a bit. There are some really swag back hits during the run that you're going to see. But right now, we're just doing these to make these cycles as lenient as possible. These aren't really entirely necessary. But there are a lot more essential ones later in the run. So yeah, so these cycles, pretty lenient. And there are ones later in the run that are not so lenient. But overall, this is a very fast-paced game. It's very movement-focused, and unless you die, you're really not going to see any time losses greater than about maybe 10 seconds. And we don't really have any skips either that are more than 10 seconds until later in the game we're going to see our major skip, which I'm going to keep it up as a surprise. So, doing some back hits here. And yeah, it was a very clean cycle. I think I hit the fastest cycle there besides... I think I hit the fastest cycle besides the cycle that was considered the task cycle before the record holder, 021, pulled it off in his world record run, which is actually incredible. He was supposed to race me today, but he had some stuff pop up, and unfortunately it couldn't be a race, but hoping that you guys will enjoy this showcase. And we have a message in chat. Let's be real, Spongebob rectangle with cylindrical legs. Pants doesn't really... Yeah, great. Yeah, Spongebob SquarePants. It's iconic and hard to change. So we're finishing up this next level. And yeah, this one's pretty cool. You're really using Spongebob's ground pounds, making sure making sure I can get as many enemies as possible. And this is actually another level that is very, this is one you can lose quite a bit of time on. So I'm just going to make sure I hit these strats. We're going to see some back hits right here. Let's hope we get these first try. So 1 down, and 2. Now we have a jump to make right here. And solid. Everything went basically the best it can be. So we got, here we just got to wait for a little bit. We have some fire coming out. We've been in the cave for the past 4 levels, but we're going to get out of the cave soon, which makes me very happy. Spongebob GBA Expert. Yeah, I've actually ran quite a few GBA games. I've ran Battle for Bikini Bottom in the GBA, I've run SpongeBob Movie GBA, and Serious Sponge has been my passion recently. I've recently took 2nd place in this game. And I'm honored to get to run this game today. So we're just finishing up this boss right here, and this is actually a strategy I found. So you're going to notice that this boss is basically a robotic fish, is doing a lot of, he's kind of just dancing around us, and ooh, I hit that perfectly. So this is a strat I found. Basically, if once he finishes the last dance he does, which is the one above us, if you hit him when he's almost at the top of the screen, it actually allows SpongeBob to put the thumbs up earlier, and the thumbs up actually signals that the level is done. So SpongeBob can put the thumbs up once the boss is up the screen, and because he's already, because the boss is already up there, we can actually get that hit off before he lunges at us, which is what was done before, and that saved about 2 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. It's actually a strategy I found when I started grinding this game out. So now we're in our next area. This is a pretty interesting world. everything went pretty solid there. Then yeah, we're kind of just in this wasteland for the next few levels. And yeah, we're kind of just grabbing some more stuff for Man Ray. We're getting the Scallop Bra. And this is a pretty boring chapter. There's really no ways to die, but I do think the next level's movement's pretty cool. We actually even see a strat here. It's not really a strat, it's just some clean movement. And this is very clean movement overall. I think this was basically perfect. Okay, just gonna clean this level up. And yeah, the ground pounds helped a lot to help us finish this game. It's a very simple game, very movement based and fast paced. And that's it, really. So we actually unlocked a new power up here. So this one, basically, we can use these bubbles as platforms. And if you do a ground pound, we blow the bubble and then do a ground pound into the bubble, or onto the bubble, we can actually get on the fastest method for getting on top of these platforms. Yeah, I did kind of have some jank movement there, but we cleaned it up pretty well. And we're gonna finish this level. So this is we're actually making pretty good pace right now. I don't think I've made a single major mistake yet. But we're moving on to the next boss. We are falling inside of a whale, and you can see really how big whales are. Spongebob's about 2 inches tall, and we can't even see the top of this. So whales are just huge creatures. I appreciate the good jobs. Hopefully this keep this pace up. I think we're doing pretty well. Yeah, we're just kind of bouncing around in the whale's stomach acid right now. And we have sort of a parasite dropping war bombs. And we have, so we basically have a parasite that we're about to fight that's inside of the whale's body. And we have, let's hope we get the fastest cycle there. Nice! So we hit the fastest thing here, so this makes that fight a lot easier. Normally this fight is a huge headache, but because I hit that, this is going to be a lot cleaner, hopefully. So you see this hole right here. I think this is the whale's digestive tract, or something like that. So if we fall down there, we basically die. But we gotta kill the whale's parasite, and now we are out of the whale, and we're in the next level. This is another level that I have the IL record in, and it's actually pretty sweet movement. So I kind of did screw up that. I was supposed to do is jump on there to do the ground pound onto that enemy, but we did pretty good. But we do have another sweet back hit we're going to perform here. And I did mess it up, but yeah, it does take about a second, and it's very clean when it is performed. So now over halfway through the game, now that we've finished off the whale, and we got another pretty sweet level. This one's very just movement focused. And just making sure we get all these enemies using a lot of these ground pounds, basically. It's a very simple game. Yeah, climbing the stairs, another thing you would want to use that for. So basically any kind of elevation, descent, or ascent, basically, is just ground pound is always a good move. A lot of enemies, ground pound's always a good move. It's really just a great thing in general, just to use these ground pounds. Okay, so that was a pretty clean turnaround. I always like shake a little bit on that section. Yeah, the music is not very good. It's, I've heard that. I don't mind it, but I've heard a lot of people complain about the music. Yeah, I've gotten used to it. I'm sure it might be a bit off-putting for some people, but it's an enjoyable game though. I like that. So we have a couple strats coming up here, and just hit this guy, and everything's pretty clean right there. I could have went a little faster there if that guy didn't hit me, but yeah, saving some time. And we are approximately 2 bosses to go. We got 5 levels left, and let's see what we can pull off. So yeah, this is another boss level that still has quite a bit of movement we have to focus on. We're right off to a pretty tight cycle off the bat. This is one of the tighter cycles in the run. As long as I can use my ground pounds, I can get this as quick as possible, and we did that. We're doing very good. So I'm just going to focus on this movement, and we do have a boss we need to focus on. So yeah, this level I guess is just a bottomless pit, and if SpongeBob falls, yeah, I think it's over for him. So we're actually going to get hit by these guys. I just want to play this as safe as possible, and taking damage, surprisingly the safe option. And I actually got to skip there. Normally you're supposed to get hit by all 3, but I was able to only get hit by 2, so I saved a little bit of time. This is another tough fight, so you're going to notice that I'm going to be looking up through most of this fight, and basically there should be a few times where the Dutchman is going to be high up on the screen and we cannot see him very good. But oh, there it is. That's the first one. Ooh, and I failed that. So that whenever you mess these up, it's about a 5-second loss. But yeah, so that was a little rough around the edges, but this is good. Looking up is this Cosmic Shake. Yeah, if you're familiar with Cosmic Shake, it's a very funny meme. It's an enjoyable game, great game. But yeah, looking up is a big thing in that game, and in this game too, it's a big strat, I guess. So we have 4 levels left to go. Are you a Goofy Goober? I am, in fact, a Goofy Goober. How many Goofy Goobers dollars do I have? I think I have about 15. Hopefully I'm eligible for a free Sunday at Goofy Goobers. So this is actually, you may not have noticed this is actually the first level again. But sadly, the oil companies have polluted SpongeBob's home. And now he has to seek revenge. You got a pretty cool skip coming up. Yeah, so we got that jump. We got a pretty cool skip coming out. It's just a pretty simple back hit, but I think this is one of the more swag ones in the run. Especially because I messed this one up earlier. But I do lose quite a bit of time if I mess this up. And we did it perfectly. This is actually a very solid run. I might be on PB pace, I'm not entirely sure. Rock? Yeah, I'm a Goofy Goober Rock, I'd say so. So, we're finishing up Chapter 5 right now. And this has been a pretty clean run. All throughout. So yeah, this level is probably the most simple level in the run. We're going through this toxic wasteland to help clean up SpongeBob's homeland. And yeah, this level is simple. We just do A bunch of times to do these ground pounds, along with jumping and holding right, and that's pretty simple. And we have the next level, and this is our only really big skip in the game. This one saves about 25 seconds. Hopefully I can pull this off first try. This would be very sweet if I pull this off. You're gonna see I'm jumping into this wall. Hopefully this gets this pretty quick. It's unfortunate. Okay, 6th try. Not terrible. Not great. I probably lost about 15 seconds to that, but yeah, basically this level, you just want to hit as many back hits as possible, just to abuse invincibility frames, and it's pretty simple. It's not really the best game design, I would say, but yeah, just fastest way, just doing invincibility frames, pretty simple. And I did actually get a back hit there, to save a little more time. Yeah, this is actually the easiest level to die to damage in the run. Like normally if you're worried about falling, but this level you have to worry about damage. But right after you finish that sequence, you have a hamburger waiting for you at the other end, and you have the oil teapot, and now we gotta go to the canning factory apparently, and I guess we're gonna stop the environmental pollution, and we're going to save SpongeBob's homeland. This is actually the last level in the run. I'll let people know, the host know when it is time to stop the timer. But yeah, we're just going to go through this. And this is actually just one last cycle here, and then we got one more swag back hit to do. So just pretty simple platforming here, and then we got a swag back hit to finish it off. Oh, we hit that perfectly, and we're actually going to despawn a barrel here. And actually, yeah, if you do a jump right there, you can despawn the barrel. But I wasn't able to hit that, unfortunately. And we got our last boss, which is some kind of dog thing. I actually don't know the name of this thing. I don't even have a name for it myself, but we just gotta defeat this dog thing, and hopefully I am a little low on health. Hopefully nothing terrible happens. Oh no! That is unfortunate. So yeah, we did die in the final boss, but we do have a checkpoint there, thankfully. So I did lose a bit more time than I'd like to, but that was unfortunate that did happen, but we're closing it out now. And I'll let you guys know time. Time ends when he sticks his thumb up. And time! So that seems like a pretty good run. I thought that was a pretty good first showcase. And yeah, he has the helmet. He didn't have the helmet in Insanity Street Dome. That is SpongeBob Super Sponge. This is my first ever run in a marathon. It was unfortunately supposed to be a race, and we didn't get to do it. But yeah, 021 had some stuff pop up, but I thought it went pretty well. And what was our time? Actually, okay, it seemed to be sub 21, but yeah, thanks to everyone who came to support today. I'm really grateful I was able to do this game today. It's a pretty sweet run. This run was a little rough around the edges, but I do recommend checking out the world record just for a bit cleaner, because cleaner representation of the game, because that was a little rough around the edges. But I'm pretty happy with how this went. So I appreciate everyone who came in, and I'd like to wish everyone a good night. Hopefully the rest of Retrothon goes great. Yeah, I'm signing out.